Hey guys, welcome to the Great United Bake Off. This week we're going to make a challah bread. So grab your little papers that you got in the post and I'll run you through how we do it. Okay, first we're obviously going to wash our hands, wash those paws. And pro tip, take all of your rings off if you have any on, otherwise you're going to have dough everywhere. So for this recipe we're going to use 1 mug for the whole thing, which makes it quite easy. Obviously if you use a very small mug you're going to end up with a tiny bread. If you use a huge mug you're going to end up with a massive bread. So I'm using my faithful IKEA mug here, which is quite a good size. And the first thing we're going to do is prepare the little yeast mixture. So you'll need a cup of like warm water. Think about like bath water, kind of warm. So you don't want it too hot but you don't want it too cold either. Okay, so you just pour your cup of water in a bowl or a jug or whatever, and then we add 1.5 tablespoons of dry activated yeast. So yeah, about that. And then 1 tablespoon of sugar, because yeast likes sugar. And then you just give it a little mix, and you can set it aside for like 5 minutes until it's all foamy. Cool, so whilst your yeast mixture is doing its thing, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients to your big mixing bowl. So we've added all of the ingredients in this big massive bowl thing, and I've got my little yeast mixture here. So this is what it should look like. It should be really foamy. I don't know if you can see this, but it should be really like foamy, and once it's done this you can just pour it in and then things are going to get serious. We're going to start mixing. So just pour this guy in. And then I like to use a spatula, but you can use like a wooden spoon or whatever, and we're going to get mixing. I can see that my dough is a little bit too watery, like too sticky, so I'm just going to add a bit of flour in, so feel free to do this as well. Just don't add too much at once and see how it goes. I feel like I have some flour on my face. Okay, this is what your dough should kind of look like. It's fine if it's still a little bit sticky. Actually, it's good if it's still a bit sticky. So don't add too much flour. But once you've kind of roughly mixed it in, now things are getting even more serious. That's why your hands need to be really clean, because we're going to put it on your work surface. Make sure that you also clean this, and add some flour, and then just tip your dough. Not like this. Okay, my little dough friend is on my work surface. I'm just going to add a bit of flour on it. And now we're going to knead this bad boy for like 10 minutes, like 8 to 10 minutes. So the way that you knead bread, and basically we do this to activate the yeast so that it rises and gets all puffy and nice. You kind of want to stretch the dough like this and then bring it back. Stretch it and bring it back. And do this for about 10 minutes. You can add flour so that it's a bit less sticky and then it comes together. And it should be quite glossy after 10 minutes. And that's when you know that it's good to go. Okay guys, when you're done kneading your dough, it should be less sticky and just come together. Mine's obviously a little bit sticky because I used the honey, but it's fine. Just grab the bowl that you mixed it in first, add a little gulp of olive oil or butter, whatever you have, and then you can just put the dough in it and cover it with some cling film or a tea towel or fake cling film like this one. And we're just going to let it rest for about an hour until it's doubled in size. Right guys, it's been about an hour, so I'm going to have a look at the dough. Look at this guy. He has risen. So that sounded like a really Easter thing to say, didn't it? I've put some flour on my work surface, and I've also prepared this tray thing with some baking paper. So what you want to do is just tip your dough onto your work surface. There we go. Just going to add a little bit of flour on top, and then so what we're going to do is do a six strand braided challah bread, but I'll cut up a little bit of it and do like a three strand thing just in case you find it a bit easier. But you want to divide this little bit of dough into 6 equal parts, so it's a little bit easier to make it into a sort of big sausage shape, and then just like cut up 6 parts, if that makes sense. I'm keeping this little random bit to show you how to make a 3-strand challah, so never mind. But yeah, I've got my 6 little bits here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's good if they're approximately the same size. And what you want to do now is you take each bit and you just want to roll it into like a long strand thing. So yeah, just have fun doing this. Alright guys, I'm just going to show you first how to do a 3-strand challah with my 3 little worms here, because it's probably a little bit easier. So if you don't fancy something a bit more complicated, just go for this one. You just want to take your 3 strands, kind of squash the tips together, and then you braid it as if you were doing your hair, or if you're a bloke, as if you were doing your girlfriend's hair. I don't know. You just basically alternate the strands like this, and then when you get to the end, you can just take the strands and tuck them under, and there we go. You have a cute little baby challah. Cool. If you're doing the 6 strands one, just arrange your 6 bits of dough like this, and you want to take the top bits and just squash them together so that they all stick together like this. And then once you've done this, you want to take the outer ones, so these 2, and we're going to cross them over. Right, it's probably easier to watch than to explain, but what you're going to do is you take the outer strand and you bring it on the other side, on the opposite side, and then you switch it so the one on the opposite side that's at the top, you're going to switch it to go on the other side. It's, like I said, it's easier to watch than to explain. So then I'll take the other one, bring it to the other side, and then switch it. Okay? So then you just keep going like this. This countertop is not big enough. struggle is real when you get to the end. At the end of your challah, you just want to cut off its little legs, sorry challah, and then you can tuck them under like this. Look, it's got a big bum. I always do this with mine, I don't know why, maybe you'll do better. Once you've got it, you just want to carefully transfer it into your baking tray. So let's try not have a disaster right now. There we go. So mummy challah and baby challah are now going to rest for another, say, 30 to 45 minutes. So just grab your good old cling film that you had before, or your kitchen towel, or your bees wrap like this, and just carefully place it on top, and you can let them rise and do their thing again. Right, the end of the Great United Bake Off has come. Here is my big booty challah. It always happens, doesn't it? The day... a bit wrong, but I'm sure it'll taste nice. So please send us some pictures of your creations, we'd love to see them, and I'm sure you can do better than this. But enjoy eating this bread, and we'll see you soon. Bye!